what's up, everybody? Welcome back to your latest episode of Bulls Latest. My name is Jefferson, and I'm going to be your host today. We got a jam-packed episode because the Chicago Bulls officially made their move, hiring Bryson Graham as their new executive vice president of basketball operations. And Bull fans right now are all over the place, with this move, because some fans are excited, some fans are already calling it another pointless hire before the guy even had a chance to walk through the door. And some fans are pretending they actually knew exactly who Bryson Graham was like 6 months ago. Okay, sure you did, buddy. Absolutely. Okay. But honestly, after reading all the comments all day long, I understand everything, every side of this thing. And I understand why Bulls are actually skeptical. Let's be real. I've heard new direction before. We heard new vision before. Bulls fans got trust issues at this point. So this franchise has spent years stuck somewhere in the middle, and people are just, getting tired of their hopes up and just end up bringing right back into playing conversation again. And I'm telling you right now, something about this actually feels different. Not because Bryson Graham is automatically going to save the Chicago Bulls. Nobody knows that yet. This could still completely fail. We've seen the Bulls do weird stuff before, but for the first time in a while, this feels like the Bulls might actually be trying to build a modern basketball operation instead of just playing, in the 60s. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the other stuff, the coaches, and what this team actually needs. So without further ado, let's talk about it, huh? Right now, with that being said, the Bulls, why this hire feels different, right? Let's start there. Because first of all, I'm not saying like this guy is going to come here and telling us, oh, we're changing everything right from the beginning. Bryson Graham is about to turn the Bulls into Oklahoma City. That's not what I'm about to say, okay? That's not going to happen overnight. So just relax, chill. I'm not trying to start a parade right now down Michigan Avenue. Okay, we hired a front office guy, and we are not doing that again with the AK situation. But here you go. When you really start thinking about reading this guy and listening to what people around the league talk and say about him, things keep coming up over and over again. Okay, he's a talent evaluator. He knows player development, and he's a very good at communication and relationships. And honestly, that's the stuff Bulls fans have been begging for, because for years this franchise is just like, again, stuck in the middle. Not rebuilding, not contending. Just, not experienced enough, just permanently stuck in NBA limbo every single April. So, but this is where Bryson Graham starts becoming interesting to me, because this hire feels like less like a flashy headline and more of like the Bulls are finally admitting they need to rebuild something the right way. So Bryson Graham worked his way up from being an intern all the way into an executive leadership over 15 years. Started with scouting, development, player evaluation. He worked in a front office. He did some video work. So like this guy's been around, and I understand why I like that. So understanding people like that are just, you got to start paying attention. He brought in guys like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado, Dyson Daniels. These are just the types of players our teams are. Those are good contributors. Like, they can defend. They're energy guys. They have their smart roles. Players that actually fit modern basketball. Because let's be honest here, the Bulls cannot survive missing on any more draft picks. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. The roster is not. This roster is not one superstar away from competing for a championship. Everybody knows that, okay? And honestly, I think that's why so many fans are looking at this hire a little differently, because this guy, they just hired, specializes in that exact thing that the Bulls have struggled with, finding talent. And I'm gonna be real with you. Another thing I like about Bryson Graham is just his vibe. Like, seriously, I saw him talking during a quick little interview the other day, and I immediately thought, yeah, this dude feels like a Chicago guy for some reason. He doesn't come off stiff. He doesn't feel like too corporate. He doesn't feel like some executive that's just going to keep talking and talking in circles for 20 minutes and never really actually say anything. He feels normal. Like, if you see him somewhere in Chicago, you could actually maybe like walk up to him and dap him up and talk basketball for 5 minutes, and I feel like he'd actually talk back. I don't know. That sounds small, but that stuff matters here. Chicago fans, we want someone genuine. And honestly, I haven't really seen anybody around the league say a bad word about the guy yet. And everything you hear is good. He's a good communicator, good at building relationships, and that stuff matters when you're trying to build something from scratch. And honestly, I saw a comment yesterday that really stuck with me because it perfectly explains why Bulls fans are still so nervous about this whole process. And at the end of the day, you do not win the NBA, right, with titles out stars. You can have nice players, you can have depth, you can have role guys, but eventually you need that franchise changing player. And when you look around the league, the NBA right now, like the serious contenders, every team has one. Okay, Shea in Oklahoma, Minnesota, we have Anthony Edwards, we have Wembanyama in San Antonio. Like the Bulls still don't have that guy yet. Have we had that guy since D Rose? That's another episode, and that's why this draft lottery feels different. This entire offseason feels so important because the Bulls are their fans are sitting here wondering, are we actually building towards something bigger, or are we just about to get stuck in the middle all over again? And that's something we're not doing anymore, right? So, but now with Bryson Graham is officially here, the next question becomes, who exactly is going to be on the sideline coaching this team, right? I want to talk, and that's part of this. These obviously it might end up telling us more than we actually know about this franchise than anybody else, because it's one thing to hire a new executive, right, and it's another thing entirely to decide what kind of basketball team you actually want to be. And that's why I've been really paying attention to some of the names connected to this job. Casey Johnson he's been reporting different names the last few days, and if you start looking at some of these guys, you can kind of see the direction the Bulls might be leaning towards. So you got guys. You hear the names. Micah Nori is still out there, so that's not off the table yet. And here's Sean Sweeney, younger coaches, communicators, development type dudes. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense to me, because if we're really starting to hire fresh here, why are we going backwards? Why are we going backwards? And I know some people are going to get mad when I say this, but I do not want Thomas Thibodeau back in Chicago. No, I'm sorry, Tom. Respectfully, of course. And I don't mean no disrespect. Tibbs is probably going to be a Hall of Fame coach someday. This man wins freaking games. Like, his players play hard for him, and his team defends. You watch the playoffs every year, and you can still see Thibs basketball on the floor every year. We get it, but we already saw that era. We lived it. Like, and honestly, if this organization is really trying to build something modern and young, keep that core young. Keep him as far away as possible. That's just my opinion, because this roster isn't ready for some win now, old school grind. You into the floor coaching type style yet. This team still needs development. It needs a patient. It needs a new coach. So that grows with the players, and that's someone like Micah Nori is interesting to me. That's why someone like Sean Sweeney feels a little bit more connected. Then we'll see. Bryson, he's gonna have a vision, and honestly, we gotta follow it for. That's all we can do. We've been here before. And then again, selfishly for me, I would love to see a veteran here, because not only does this coach know basketball, he's won some championships, and he's very familiar with the Chicago. See, I'm talking about Steve Kerr. A lot of people forgot about his name. We were reporting about that a few days ago, and now it seems like his name is gone. Again, I love reporting the news, but it could go either way. You just like this Bryson Graham hire. We have no idea, but if you're trying to remain modern, I feel like any direction you're going to go in is going to be better than what we had. And that's what brings me to my next point. Why Bulls fans feel so nervous right now? Because if you go look back, I mean, when was the last time we really were competitive? When did the last time we compete? We missed out on so many opportunities in the draft. Oh, it's so hard to really go back and look at the names that we could have had here. And there's so many teams that could do that, right? We're not the only ones that have been playing, middle playing basketball for the past 20 years. There's other teams like that too, but that's why we want to move past that. We don't need that anymore. We don't want to give away picks, and stars, potential stars like Io and Kobe. You're right. Like we let those guys go for nothing, and we'll see. This is why Bryson Graham coming in is so important right now, because once he gets in here, that's it. Like we can't have another AK situation where this guy's just coming in blind and not knowing, just hoping. Yeah, he picked Joker, so this guy's great. No, we don't know what we got in Bryson Graham yet, but from what I'm seeing, he's a likable dude again, and he's well respected. Cool. I want to see it. That's for me. That's my whole thing, and that's day one when he walks in the door. The Bulls organization. The job starts. Like, he's overtime. He better not go home that night, because his draft is coming up on Sunday, on Mother's Day, and we don't know the direction we're heading in yet. We have so many unanswered questions, but it's exciting though. It's an exciting time to be a Bulls fan right now. I feel we have hope. I feel like I'm reading the comments and everybody is, yeah. Go read any comment section of Chicago Bulls and you're gonna have a fun time, because half of them are talking crap, and some of them are not wrong either. So we'll see what happens. Bulls fans, be patient. If you guys are rocking with me, I appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We try to drop Bulls daily content every single day. So just like you guys, I'm in it. Draft is coming up. I hope tomorrow we have a new coach. Probably not. Yeah, we'll see. Keep waiting. See Red, Go Bulls. Has been another episode of Bulls Latest. I'll see you tomorrow.